welcome you to Bowling Green, Kentucky for a rivalry night in Conference USA. It's the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Let's take a look at the standings in Conference USA. Right now, the Hilltoppers at 3-4 in the league, trying to creep closer to New Mexico State, while Middle Tennessee at 2-4, but has won 2 straight games in conference play. And alongside the former Illini, Sean Harrington, I'm Jordan Burnfield. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight at Diddle Arena. And Sean, this is going to be a classic game of whose team can play with better pace. Western Kentucky is the fastest in the country in terms of adjusted tempo on offense. Yeah, they want to get out and they want to run. They want to score as often as possible, as many times as possible. This is a balanced attack. I wouldn't be surprised if 6 or 7 guys on this team have a chance to get into double figures. And they do that by getting into the lane, putting pressure on the defense, getting out into the open floor, penetrating and kicking out for threes. This team is at its best when they can run on makes or misses. So really important for Middle Tennessee to get back defensively, even on a made shot. The Hilltoppers coming off a loss Thursday night against Sam Houston by just 2 points. Middle Tennessee has not played in a week, so they are well rested. Their last game against FIU, and they picked up an 18-point win. But tonight, these two schools separated by just about 100 miles, getting set to go again in the 145th all-time meeting. The opening tip is won by the Blue Raiders. It'll be Justin Porter to bring it across.
So important for Middle Tennessee to run good offense, get good looks at the basket, so Western Kentucky can't get out and run off of a block. That's when they like to go.
Babacar Faye got the block. As you take a look at Western Kentucky's starting 5, Don McHenry, third in Conference USA in scoring. He's got the ball over to Newman. Now Dante Allen getting the start tonight. And it'll be Tyrone Marshall launching for 3, and the rebound to Jared Coleman-Jones. Middle Tennessee's lineup a little bit different than you would have seen at the beginning of the year. They've had a couple of key injuries, but they are a 3-headed monster, and we'll talk about that coming up.
A little stagnant here in this possession. Shot clock winding down.
7 to shoot now, 6. There's Coleman-Jones guarded by Faye, tries to throw it inside. It pinballs underneath, a bucket and a foul for Jacob Johnson.
Just how they drew it up, right? A deflection right to the basket for an and one. You'll take it though. Most of that possession out on the perimeter. This is what Western Kentucky wants. Good deflection on the back door. Just goes right into Johnson's hands. He's in the right spot at the right time. Good finish through contact. Chance for a 3-point play.
Dante Allen picked up the foul, and the free throw missed by Johnson. Now the Tops looking for their first bucket of the game. Don McHenry taking the screen and drives right to the hoop, misses the shot, but Faye there to tip it back in.
McHenry doesn't get the basket, but credit him, he draws the defense towards him. That leaves the weak side wide open for that tip in.
Don McHenry, one of the handful of junior college players that's transferred into this Western Kentucky program after hiring Hank Plona from Indian Hill CC. That's been a nice pipeline for Western Kentucky. Middle Tennessee goes up 4-2.
That was Porter that time. Second effort, goes and gets the offensive board and then attacks the rim.
Now McHenry going to work. On the drive into a double team and kicks it out. Brandon Newman, the Purdue transfer for 3 off target, and the rebound Middle Tennessee.
Good job cleaning up the boards early on in this ball game for Middle Tennessee. Don't want to give up any second chance opportunities in this ball game.
Elias King finding Coleman-Jones on the baseline against Faye. Into a double team, but puts it off the window and scores.
That's a big time move, strong move from Coleman-Jones on the inside through 2 defenders, able to finish.
Now Faye traveled. Babacar Faye trying to score over Coleman-Jones, but traveled with the basketball. There's Nick McDevitt, 6th season as Middle Tennessee's head coach. Of course, played at UNC Asheville. Was there from 13 to 18, the 2017 Big South Coach of the Year. He's had a couple of very good seasons with Middle Tennessee. And people felt like this team would be really good this year. Tied for first in the preseason rankings as King knocks one down from deep.
Yeah, Cameron Weston injured 2 games in the season. Preseason all-conference player. You lose that type of firepower 2 games in. Coach McDevitt's had to reinvent the offense a little bit, and it's starting to click here now over these last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, you mentioned Cameron Weston, Josh Ogundelli, both out for the year with knee injuries. And just talking to the Middle Tennessee players, they said we had to change what we were doing. It took some time to change roles on this team. Elias King had that one in and out for 3. Back the other way quickly comes Western Kentucky. Dante Allen hoists from deep and knocks down the triple.
Offense struggling a little bit. That's a good answer. Shoots 38% from 3. Almost 65% of his shots are going to come from beyond the arc. So when he catches, you got to have a hand up on him.
Ended a 7-0 run for the Blue Raiders. Justin Buford out to Coleman Jones, and he's going to drive on Allen, but he traveled. Coming up next, a big 3 for Middle Tennessee that you need to know about. Well, Middle Tennessee has won 2 straight games, and one of the big reasons is the 3-headed monster they've got starting. Their guards, Justin Porter and Justin Buford, and then, or rather, Elias King, and then Jared Coleman Jones in the middle.
Yeah, these 3 guys have played extremely well over the last 2 games. Up in that scoring margin. That's part of the reason why they won those 2 games. You got 3 guys carrying the load, allow some other players to get into their comfort zone, play their role a little bit better. If Middle Tennessee wants to win tonight, those 3 guys need to have a big night. They're off to a great start. They've scored 7 of the team's first 9 points. So they're in the attack mode, picking up where they left off the last 2 games.
Now Porter a 2, King a 3, and Coleman Jones with a 2. And now, out of the first time out, it's Western Kentucky basketball.
See if they can establish Howard on the inside. There it is.
And there's the bucket for Rodney Howard in off the bench and making his presence felt, the 5th year in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Does a good job sealing on the inside that time. Does his work early, and then it's just an easy layup.
Newman nearly got a steal on Coleman Jones. He keeps it and unable to put it in. The rebound underneath for Buford has that one blocked by Allen out of bounds. He'll stay with the Blue Raiders. Offense for Middle Tennessee has been real good of late. That's why they were able to get their first 2 conference wins.
Yeah, it always looks a lot better when you're making 46% of your threes. That's how you up your numbers a little bit. We always say, run the shot-making offense. Why aren't we running the shot-making offense? Hit all of our shots. But that's what they've been doing here recently. Guys stepping in their roles a little bit better. Knocking down some threes, a little bit more comfortable. Those games are at home as well. You always feel a little bit more comfortable at home. It's carried over here on the road a little bit.
5-second call there. It'll be Western Kentucky basketball. I was thinking maybe you got some more eligibility, Sean. You were the sharpshooter.
Let it fly. Let it fly.
Now Don McHenry on the run over Coleman Jones for the bucket.
Yeah, he's putting pressure on the defense right now. You watch McHenry when he comes off that high ball screen. Great guards play with different pace. He's hesitating and exploding to the basket. He's been able to get to the rim a couple times here in this first half.
Marshall steps out of bounds after trying to make the steal. First season as the head coach, Steve Lutz, after 2 incredibly successful seasons at Texas A&M Corpus Christi, taking them to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. He's the 16th head coach in WKU history.
Spent some time at Purdue. Obviously a huge home court advantage there, and he's carried that over here. Just 1 loss on the season. That came their last time out to Sam Houston. So tough to win in this building.
And Steve Lutz was at Purdue. Before that, he was at Creighton. I see Porter trying to race in on Allen. And the foul actually goes to McHenry as he got him first.
Yeah, it looked like he was trailing the play. some contact with the body.
There's a 3-try for the wing off target. Marshall the rebound. Pretty good look for Trey Green, the sophomore, who's been very good of late for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, he's starting to feel a lot more comfortable shooting the threes, averaging just over 10 points a game over those last 3 ball games. So they tried to feed him early as soon as he checked in.
Howard, the kick back to Newman. Long 2 won't go. Now Justin Porter. Porter into the lane, the kick out. Green, another good look, misses that 3.
That's a great look. That's a penetrating kick. Porter got 2 feet into the lane.
Brandon Newman tries to answer and misses a 3. So they're both letting it fly.
And if you're Western Kentucky, you'll take that shot. Brandon Newman steps into one. It's a shot he's normally going to make.
Now underneath, Green tries to fling it up there, can't get it to go. Johnson the long rebound. Deflected by Newman, and it comes out to Marshall. All alone for the slam.
And Western Kentucky off and running, getting that defense, turn the offense 2-point lead early on.
Tyrone Marshall Jr., the senior from Nashville, throwing down the dunk after getting the deflection and the steal.
Yeah, he's a high flyer, and this is what Western Kentucky wants to do. They want to speed you up defensively, get the turnovers, run out, and then that gets the crowd on their feet, forces the timeout. Now full court press out of the timeout. Just try to get a quick steal. Middle Tennessee coming on the road. You have to take care of the basketball. Those are the turnovers. There's another live ball turnover. You can't have those.
How about that dive on the floor from Tegan Moore, the freshman? Enoch Colombe now into the game as well. They try to go down low for Howard, but a foul going to be called against Chris Loof.
Great job by Moore, disrupting the dribble handoff, and then the dive going into the scorer's table keeps that possession alive. If you're Western Kentucky, that's the formula for success right there. Speeding up that defense, getting deflections, getting steals, then trying to run out, picking up this pace, picking up the tempo.
Howard going to work in the paint, floats it in over Loof.
And great patience on the inside from the big fella. Plays low, plays under control. Took his time, no double team coming. Great finish at the rim.
Rodney Howard, the transfer from Georgia Tech. And this is going the other way. Another big defensive play from Western Kentucky. They're coming out on Middle Tennessee near midcourt, and it's worked on back-to-back possessions.
And just turning up the defensive pressure all over the court right now. This gets the crowd on their feet. They love the energy. They love the effort. Getting stops. 5 turnovers now. Middle Tennessee has to start taking care of the basketball. The only thing that's okay about that is not live ball turnover.
Right.
So you get to set your defense here. You cannot have live ball turnovers against this Western Kentucky team.
11-0 run for Western Kentucky. And now Howard trying to get inside, but traveled.
Yeah, just sped up a little that time. Did a great job of possession before taking his time. That time looked like maybe a double team was coming. Tried to make a move before the double team could get there. Just got moving a little too quick.
A lot of player movement here early in this game, especially for Western Kentucky coming off a game Thursday night.
And keep fresh bodies, keep fresh legs. They want to keep the tempo up. They want to keep the pressure up defensively.
Johnson back to the top. Buford gets into the paint. Johnson along the baseline with 9 to shoot. They reverse it. Now a 3-try. That is good for Jalen Jordan.
That's a big shot. You can feel momentum pressure down on your side.
And Jack Edelin down the floor in a flash, but draws a foul. Coming up next, Justin Buford grew up in Selma. We'll tell you about it next. On March 7th, 1965, state and local police attacked hundreds of activists marching through Selma, Alabama to the state capitol in Montgomery, famously crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They were protesting the denial of voting rights to black Americans and the tragic death of 26-year-old activist Jimmy Lee Jackson just days earlier. It brought Martin Luther King to join them in their march. And Middle Tennessee State Guard Justin Buford, he is from Selma, Alabama, the town infamously known for this dark moment in American history. Had a chance to talk with Justin at yesterday's practice. He said the black community in Selma really continues to share the stories of the activists that helped change the country as it worked to end segregation. He said his grandmother marched across the bridge that day, and she told him a story about one time being in the same restaurant as Jimmy Lee Jackson, and Buford himself has visited the Edmund Pettus Bridge on several occasions. And he said it's very much a part of the fabric of living in Selma, as you could imagine. A delightful conversation with Justin yesterday, despite it being a heavy topic. And Justin Buford picked up that last foul, and so now Edelin at the free throw line knocks down the first.
Just amazing story there, and just obviously living history every single day in that community. So great to hear those stories and how changes can be made.
Important to recognize during this month and every month, without a doubt. And now Jared Coleman-Jones picks up the foul. That is his first, so it's going the other way and back to Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers on a 13-3 run over the last 4:47.
Yeah, 5 turnovers now since the first media break. So that next 4 minutes for Middle Tennessee not taking care of the basketball, and that's led to the run for Western Kentucky.
That time it was Howard for the jumper. Can't get that to go. And now Coleman-Jones kicks it out. Jalen Jordan whips to the corner. This is Buford. He had a good look for three. Won't go. Rebounded underneath Coleman-Jones, but it's taken away by Western Kentucky. Colombe to the basket. Can't get it to roll in, but Howard there for the tip back. Seemed like it hung up there for 5 seconds.
Sure did. Colombe did a terrific job of attacking again. And now as we're speaking, another turnover. This has got to be cleaned up here.
Here's our ESPN Big Monday doubleheader. We start in the ACC, Miami and Virginia in Charlottesville, 7 Eastern. Then it's round 1 of this season's Sunflower Showdown. Hunter Dickinson, number 8 Kansas, squaring off against Cam Carter and Kansas State. Both are also available on the ESPN app. Take a look at today. I mean, how about that? Kansas shot nearly 70% against Houston.
Yeah, when's the last time Bill Self was a home underdog at Kansas? That was the case today. They don't like that too much. They came out firing on all cylinders.
Jalen Jordan firing from 3.
That's his second here. Able to stop the Western Kentucky run. And corner 3. He's feeling comfortable.
2-point Hilltopper lead. Now Howard around Coleman-Jones for the bucket.
Yeah, he just feels very comfortable down low there. If there's no double team, he's got all day to make that move. That's a tough ask for Coleman-Jones.
8 early points for Howard off the bench. And now Jordan again for 3. That won't go. Colombe back the other way with a head of steam. Puts it up with a left hand. No. Tip back won't go. And it comes out to Justin Porter. Porter along the baseline. Beautiful move for the bucket.
Great hesitation. The quick step going baseline. And then strong finish at the rim.
Now they go back to Howard in the post. Middle Tennessee wanted to walk there, didn't get the call, but Allen gets to the basket for the lay-in.
Allen gives it right back to Porter. That's the move Porter just did on one end. Allen does it with Porter guarding him. Finishes with the left.
Justin Porter Back up to Jordan, who's already hit a couple of threes. Made his man miss, gets to the paint, draws the foul. Jalen Jordan, one of the guys that Middle Tennessee is starting to rely upon, and that's because this Blue Raider team was picked to finish tied for first in Conference USA, but they're missing Cameron Weston and Josh Ogundelli. Both these guys had knee injuries that sidelined them for the entire season. So Nick McDevitt really had to remake the identity of this team through the non-conference schedule, Sean.
Yeah, and you have to do that on the flow of the season. That's not easy to do. It's a Weston, a preseason all-conference player that you lose, and a point guard, but they want to have the ball in his hands. They run a lot of two-man actions for him, ball screen dive, ball screen pops. So everybody else now has a new role. You see where Justin Porter now is your point guard. He's got a scorer's mentality. So now he's being asked to not only stay aggressive and go score, but now get everybody else involved because we need you to get assists as well. So everybody had to learn a little bit of a new role, take a different position, take a different way that they would score the basketball. We've seen now over the last 3-4 games, offense is clicking a little bit better, guys feeling a little bit more comfortable. So they're hoping as the season goes on here, the offense continues to look better.
And it has. They average under 64 points per game, but over the last couple of games, you've seen it, they've scored at least 75 in both. Marshall has that one erased by Buford.
Great weak side recognition from Buford to come over and erase it at the rim.
Now Buford throws down low for Loof. Back out to Buford. He's got an open three, misses, and the rebound to Don McHenry.
This is where McHenry's dangerous, pushing the open floor.
Tries to throw it back for Marshall, a dive on the floor, and it's out of bounds off Marshall. It'll go back to Middle Tennessee. Miscommunication right there is threw it back thinking that someone would be there, but no one was there.
Good job by Middle Tennessee to kind of weather this storm a little bit. Looked like Western Kentucky was going to pull away midway through the first half, had all the momentum on their side. A couple good possessions offensively here for Middle Tennessee.
Brandon Newman picking up his first foul. Yeah, Western Kentucky went on that 13-3 run. Middle Tennessee weathered the storm, now with a chance to tie. Buford left open at the top, misses that jumper. Here come the tops. Marshall misses the three. Had it open, shot it early.
Just didn't get his footwork under control, leading into that shot. Porter, no problem getting his footwork correct there, stepping into a three. He's got all kinds of confidence, no hesitation.
Sure does, he's got 7 now. McHenry along the baseline against Buford. Buford blocks his shot.
Great job standing his ground, straight up, contesting that jumper.
Buford makes a move on Marshall. Into the paint, into contact, no call. Misses the shot, and then Middle Tennessee steals it back, but Johnson straddling half court, and it brings us to a timeout on the floor.
We got a good one, back and forth battle. Both teams trying to pick up the intensity on defense. Good block by Buford. It's Middle Tennessee with a 1-point lead.
Well, here inside Diddle Arena, that is Jacob Young. He is a grad student at Western Kentucky, and he shot through a putt that just won him $1,000. I don't know about the Bailey Zappi jersey necessarily, but I love the confidence from Jacob Young. Congrats, buddy. That's awesome. I look at this putt. This was perfect. It was online the entire way. Crowd went nuts for him. And what I also loved about it, Sean, is and he went for the high five, but he didn't go running off the floor. He looked like he was confident he was going to make it the whole time.
That was expected. Act like we've been here before. He's hit that putt on the golf course a time or two, I think.
Apparently so, because he looked incredibly confident in doing it. Good for you, Jacob. Out of the timeout, Dante Allen around the curl, misses a three. Long rebound comes out to Buford for Middle Tennessee State. Justin Porter lost his defender. Now Buford on the wing, a good three try, but misses there. Wide open on that shot. And back the other way quickly. Tops have Newman in the corner. Newman again, this time from the top, misses the three.
A lot of one and dones right now for Western Kentucky too. Give Middle Tennessee credit, protecting those offensive boards.
Now Porter around the screen, 10 to shoot now. He'll take a three. That won't fall. Loof tried to rebound it, but stepped on the line out of bounds. Now Western Kentucky, which had it going offensively before Sean, 1 for their last 7 from the field.
Yeah, a lot of outside jump shots. They're able to get Howard the basketball down low. See if they can establish the inside here again. Not rely on outside jump shots.
There's Edele trying to find a way to the basket. Buford the block, out of bounds. Justin Buford, the junior, has shown his ability to block shots in this game so far. Already 3.
Yeah, beat off the drive, but then doesn't give up on the play, able to recover.
So now he's 9th all time in Middle Tennessee basketball history in shot blocking as Dante Allen drains a 3 from the wing.
And he can get hot from the outside. But in this ball game 10 times, he's had multiple threes in the game. He's done it again here tonight.
And a 3 answering right back from Jalen Jordan. How about the performance he's putting forth off the bench?
Yeah, we talked about the big 3. You got Jordan stepping up, trying to join that group.
Babacar Faye picking up the foul. That is his first.
Just shooting with a lot of confidence right now. A couple open shots from the corner 3, both sides of the floor, and that time defenders up on him contesting, but you see a couple go through the basket. You don't hesitate to let it loose.
Well, it's nice to see for a kid in Jalen Jordan that had to sit out each of the last 2 years with knee injuries. This time draws the foul on McHenry. So he's going to go to the line for 3.
Well, that's what happens when you knock down 3 3-pointers in a half. That contest gets a little closer and a little bit more aggressive. That time too aggressive. And fouls the shooter. Jordan with a chance now for 3 shots.
Jalen Jordan had to sit out the 21-22 season after suffering a knee injury before the year even started. So he missed all of that year. Then last year, re-injured the same knee on the first day of practice, missed another entire season. He didn't play basketball for 971 days. Finally returned to the lineup in their opener against Northern Kentucky on November 6th.
Talk about playing through adversity and having to deal with a lot, and the rehab that it takes to come back from those types of injuries. It's an everyday deal. Trying to get strong and healthy, and you finally get back and re-injure it. It's good to see him having a good season this year.
And now a foul on Buford as Tegan Moore was trying to get inside. Justin Buford picking up foul number 2.
Moore, only a freshman. He does a good job attacking the basket. Almost half his shots are going to come from beyond the arc, but he's at his best when he's putting his head down or slashing to the basket off of a cut.
Tegan Moore knocks down the first. Freshman from Dry Ridge, Kentucky, and a player who Steve Lutz said a lot of good things about. He feels like Tegan Moore has tremendous potential as his career moves on. He said he can be as good as he wants to be. A first-team all-league player at some point if he wants to.
And do the little things. You saw him dive on the floor earlier in this ball game to get a defensive possession. Those are all the things that you need. Get that confidence up, get those teammates to respect you.
Into the post, Coleman Jones almost lost it. 8 to shoot for Middle Tennessee. Justin Porter winds up for 3 and misses. The rebound underneath, it's knocked out of bounds. They'll say it's off of Western Kentucky. The partisan crowd does not like that.
See, it looked like Newman stuck his hand in, but it doesn't hit Johnson again, right? Yeah. No, he doesn't.
Ooh,
it doesn't. So good call.
And now King for 3, and he hits it.
He's got unlimited range. Do you think he's out of his range? Guess again, you got to have a hand up there. He shoots with a lot of confidence and shoots it from deep.
Well, and he's 6'8", listed as a guard, so that's a tough matchup. Nice pass inside to Moore. Howard set it up.
And there's that cutting that we talked about. Moore does a really good job when he's off the ball, cutting to the basket, and good find from Moore.
Here's King. There's a screen, misses the 3. Out of bounds, it'll be Western Kentucky basketball when we come back.
And Middle Tennessee's got a 2-point lead. A lot of it, it's the outside shooting. Everybody getting into the act. King, the latest to knock it down from deep.
What a women's basketball triple header we have for you tomorrow on ESPN2 and the app. Number 17, Virginia Tech takes on number 24, North Carolina. The ACC, noon Eastern, then number 1, South Carolina, the only unbeaten D1 team left, hosts Ole Miss in the SEC. And we cap the afternoon in the Pac-12. 7th-ranked UCLA, 4th-ranked Stanford. Should be a great afternoon for women's hoops. But we all know the biggest story in women's college basketball right now, Caitlin Clark. And 103 points from Kelsey Plum, which she could probably score 50 in her next game and be that much closer.
Yeah, we're trying to calculate how many games is that. We're like, 1, 2 maybe for her.
Yeah.
More than likely 3 or 4.
And the range, Sean. I mean, as a shooter, the only thing I can compare it to is Steph Curry.
Yeah, and that's what's really been impressive, both on the men's and women's side, is how deep everyone shoots from now, and it is unlimited range, and the game has really stretched out. You got to guard guys 35 feet from the basket at times.
Justin Porter trying to get inside. That deflects away, and now Marshall's got it. Edelin running the floor for Western Kentucky. Down low, Howard couldn't handle the pass, but able to keep. We go back to Howard in the post, and he draws the foul on Coleman Jones. Jared Coleman Jones, foul number 2. Just about 17 minutes into this rivalry game. Middle Tennessee with the 2-point lead on the road. Sean mentioned it earlier. Western Kentucky is 9-1 in this building. Their only loss came Thursday night, so just 2 days ago, against Sam Houston. Steve Lutz already making this a tough place to play for opponents. It always has been, certainly, but in year 1 of his tenure.
And if you want to compete for conference titles, if you want to have successful seasons, you have to win at home. Western Kentucky's done a really good job with that so far this year. You mentioned just the 1 loss.
Jalen Jordan, a 3 over Moore. He hits again. Jalen Jordan has 16 first-half points, and Middle Tennessee back into the lead.
And then now this is where you have to make adjustments. Great job by Marshall finishing at the basket. But if you're Western Kentucky, you talk all week scouting report. How are you going to play, guys? You weren't coming in here saying that Jalen Jordan was going to light you up from the outside, but now you got to treat him like a deadly shooter and get all over him when he's behind that arc.
Into a double. Now Johnson along the baseline puts it in. Jacob Johnson, his second bucket here in the first half.
Yeah, nice body control from Johnson there when he went baseline. Little runner, able to finish.
Allen on the wing, moved his defender, gets into the paint and lays it in off the glass.
Great use of the shot fake. Again, talk about scouting report. He's a shooter. You fly out of control. Great job that time from Allen to recognize the defender out of control, uses the shot fake, and then finish at the rim. Don't settle for a contested three.
Dante Allen, the transfer in from Kentucky. Now Justin Porter answers with a three.
I mean, they're just shooting from three right now like it's layups. All kinds of confidence from this Middle Tennessee team.
Moore has that one tipped away. And now they're saying jump ball, but possession arrow will stay with Western Kentucky.
Yeah, neither official had a good look at the deflection, so they had to go to the alternating possession. We got all kinds of looks at it.
Ooh. Now it's Allen. Into Marshall, lost the handle, but Howard was right there. Through the double and hooks it in.
Well, they've had no answer for Howard on the inside. He is controlling the lane on the offensive end, just taking his time, finishing right at the basket.
Rodney Howard, 12 first half points off the bench. Under a minute to go here in this opening half. And Porter travel.
I just had that pivot foot drag on him. He was trying to go back against the defense on a throwback. His momentum just kept him going to his left. Let's see if Western Kentucky goes back inside to Howard. There it is.
They do. There's Howard over Loof. No, but he's fouled by the freshman Chris Loof. And you said it, they just keep going to him. They don't really have the pace offensively that I think they'd hope for, but they have had a lot of success on the interior.
Yeah, and you have to go to what's working. And right now they see they've got a mismatch on the inside. Howard is doing a terrific job of posting up early, getting great position. And he's catching, he's a couple feet from the basket, and he's taking his time and finishing.
Howard's first free throw up and through. Rodney Howard now 13 points. Western Kentucky finding its offense again. 5 of their last 6 from the field. .7 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock as we wind down here in this first half. Howard's second free throw is good. 14 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 rebounds for Rodney Howard here in this first half.
And if you're Middle Tennessee now, you mentioned 1.7 difference on the shot clock, so you want to take the last shot of the half here. Got to have defensive balance after a make or a miss, as Western Kentucky will be pushing it.
Justin Porter wants to waste down the clock. 10 to shoot now. Jordan. 3 seconds to shoot. 2. Puts up a 3. No. Rebounded, knocked away, and that'll end the first half. All knotted up at 38 in this rivalry game here at Diddle Arena.
Well, we got Western Kentucky right now scoring on the inside as Howard's dominated inside the lane, and Middle Tennessee has done a terrific job of shooting from the outside. They're knocking down threes from multiple guys all over the floor. So we got the inside battle against the outside battle. We got a good second half in front of us.
So tied at 38 through the first 20 minutes here at Diddle Arena between these two teams that have met for the 145th time tonight. Should be a great second half. Coming up, we'll go back to the studio. Dallin Cuff, Josh Pastner, and John Crispin with our halftime report. look at our game summaries. We get set for half number 2. Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky knotted at 38. And you see the shooting has been pretty good for Middle Tennessee, particularly from 3. Western Kentucky isn't the best three-point shooting team, but they've certainly struggled there. But they are getting so many points in the paint, as you pointed out. Rodney Howard has been unstoppable.
Yeah, right now, Middle Tennessee is plus 18 from beyond the arc. Western Kentucky is plus 16 in the paint. So we'll find out here in the second half which team can make the corrections of guarding against the 3 and guarding against the paint. So look for Western Kentucky to try to run Middle Tennessee off the line, and then it'll be interesting to see when Howard gets back in there, do they send the double team or continue to play that straight up? Howard's been able to get anything he wants inside.
The first possession goes to the road team, the Blue Raiders, to begin this second half. Coleman Jones in the post. And out to Buford for 3. That won't go. Coleman Jones went for the rebound, but it's tipped back, and Don McHenry's got it. With a head of steam. Newman passes up a 3. Marshall won't. He misses. Marshall somehow gets it back. And McHenry hoists. He hits.
Second chance opportunities. Great job for Marshall. Missed the 3 in the corner. And the shooter always knows if it's off. He goes after the offensive rebound, keeps it alive. Leads to second chance three-pointer from McHenry, able to step into it. Used to call that the scholarship shot. If you're a good shooter and you can't hit it from the top of the key, you don't deserve a scholarship.
I love that.
McHenry has earned his scholarship, no question about that.
McHenry, the junior from Milwaukee, one of the guys that transferred into this program from Indian Hills. The junior college level, Hank Plona, their former coach, is on the staff as well at Western Kentucky. Coleman Jones goes to work in the paint, draws the foul on Babacar Faye. There's Hank Plona. And was outstanding, as you see, as Indian Hills coach from 2015 to 23. Won almost 87% of his games, perennially in the NJCAA tournament. One of the best coaches on the junior college level. And just talking to Steve Lutz about it, Sean, he said, listen, we are going to need to, on this level, be able to do a good job of recruiting from the junior college ranks. This obviously happens all over the country, but Steve Lutz felt that having Hank here with Don McHenry is really going to help him. Colin Bay as well, also from Indian Hills. So they're creating a little bit of a pipeline.
Well, and with the transfer portal and guys bouncing around, the junior college gets overlooked a little bit. So you can find some really good players. It's probably being under-recruited right now because a lot of coaches are just going straight to the portal, trying to get some of those experienced guys to plug in gaps where they need to fill in holes in the roster. And that junior college, where you used to get a lot of great players from the junior college ranks, is probably being under-recruited right now.
And you find guys there, and you find guys in the transfer portal these days, right? It's way less about finding high school players to come into your program the way it used to be.
Yeah, the theory is always get old and stay old, and that used to be developing young players, having 4th, 5th year seniors in every program. Now, get old is get into the portal and get a 4th or 5th year senior.
Right. McHenry the miss, and the rebound, Coleman Jones. Justin Porter almost lost his footing, and this time he does, and it's a travel.
Now I like his attack. He's getting into the lane. He's playing with good pace, playing with good speed. Just a little bit too much when he's trying to turn back against the defense. He's done that a couple times here tonight.
He wiped his shoes there twice. It's almost like he slipped slightly. A couple of his steps, and now McHenry hits another 3.
Well, he just made one, and then the defender goes underneath that ball screen. A shooter just needs to see a little bit of daylight. McHenry sees the defender go under the screen, pulls up, knocks it down from 3.
McHenry 3rd in Conference USA in scoring, averaging 15 points per game. Western Kentucky was tied at halftime despite McHenry only having 2 in the first half, but he's hit a couple of 3s here early in the second, so perhaps they've got him going now. Stops and pops again. He hits! Don McHenry with 3 threes. And now a timeout is called. Nick McDevitt wants to talk things over. Don McHenry asserting himself here early in half number 2.
Well, it's a heat check, and it's well-deserved. McHenry feeling from the outside. The step-back 3 lets the crowd know about it. 7-point lead.
Blockbuster Saturday in men's college basketball today. You see what happened with Kansas and Houston. And Kansas with a 78-65 win, but they shot almost 70%. Hard to believe against that Houston defense. North Carolina beats Duke 93-84. And Tennessee leading 10th-ranked Kentucky by 14 right now. And they've hit 7 of their first 12 threes, which certainly helps that score. So a banner day in college basketball.
Yeah, always fun when ranked teams go up against each other, and just when you think you've got everything figured out, right? Houston's looking really good. Nobody can score on them. Maybe Kansas is a little down this year, and then you get a score like that. Carolina Duke, always a fun one. Carolina gets round 1. Will there be 3 or 4 matchups again this year?
Very well could be. And now the Middle Tennessee to inbound out of the timeout. Don McHenry has hit 3 threes here early in this second half. And that's how Western Kentucky has the 7-point lead. 6 straight points from McHenry threes. So let's see what Nick McDevitt has drawn up out of the timeout. They go into the post. Coleman Jones, and a foul called before the shot.
Well, you like that out of a break. Momentum's on Western Kentucky's side. And what you got to do is go inside to the big fella, get a high percentage look. Coleman Jones fouled that time.
Babacar Faye picking up his 3rd foul. And Steve Lutz talking to him as he goes to the bench.
Good job by Marshall there. Being there in the inbounds, right on King.
Calls the turnover as he stepped down the line. McHenry on the run. High off the glass and in.
Well, that's just terrific. It's the change of pace, but you knock down threes. So now the defense comes out and he explodes to the rim, just blows by the defender.
How about Justin Porter exploding by defenders, and now a foul right at the end of that sequence. And it'll go on Dante Allen.
And this is the danger zone right here. He's knocked down 2 threes from this spot. So you want to close out and make sure you go over this ball screen. They do. There's that hesitation and then explode to the basket. Coleman Jones not able to stay with McHenry. Terrific job by McHenry, mixing up, shooting threes, and getting all the way to the basket.
Now Justin Porter knocks down the first free throw. 11 points for him tonight, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And look at Don McHenry and how he has exploded in the second half, and that is what has caused the lead for Western Kentucky.
And a couple fouls there in the first half, so he had to sit a little longer than he was hoping and made up for lost time real quick here in the second half.
Corner 3, Newman misses. Now Porter takes a screen, kicks to the corner. Jordan for 3, in and out.
That's a great look. Porter able to get into the lane. You get the hot shooting Jordan in the corner wide open. That one's halfway down.
Now Don McHenry is fouled on the way in by Justin Porter. First on Porter. It's funny how when a guy who's a scorer takes the lid off, so to speak, how it just changes their body language. You can see so much energy from Don McHenry right now.
Yeah, and it always feels good when you knock down shots from the outside and then attacking and getting to the basket, and it just opens everything up for their team. And you can see that that's top of the scouting report is how do we stop McHenry from Middle Tennessee. And he has a little bit of a slow first half, so maybe you loosen up a little bit, and then all of a sudden he explodes on you in the first 4 minutes of the second half, and now you got to get right back to the original game plan of you got to stop McHenry anytime he's got the basketball.
He had 2 points at halftime. He's got 14 now. Jordan from the elbow. The fade, no. Rebounded Allen. Loose on the floor, out of bounds, and a foul going to be called, and it'll be Middle Tennessee basketball when we return. 50-42, Western Kentucky, an 8-point lead here at home. Eight-point lead for the Tops here at home, 50-42, and Steve Lutz in his first year as the head coach of the Hilltoppers. After 2 NCAA tournament appearances in 2 seasons at Texas A&M Corpus Christi, where he was last year's Southland Coach of the Year. Prior to that, though, was coaching under Matt Painter at Purdue, and obviously Purdue is one of the preeminent programs in the country for NCAA tournament appearances. That Elite Eight with Carson Edwards, a player he was very instrumental in recruiting. He was also instrumental in recruiting this guy, and I think that worked out well for Purdue, wouldn't you say, Sean?
Yeah, no question. And he's trying to make Rodney Howard look like Edey in this ball game. They're tacking inside. It's always fun to get a good Edey story. They said, you can't believe how much the guy eats. And it sounds like sushi's his go-to. And he's like, just platters of sushi would come out, and he would just inhale it all the time. The guy's always hungry.
3 for Elias King as he knocks down the triple. Now I have so many questions, too. I mean, for a guy that big to eat sushi, you got to have multiple rolls.
Yeah, if they just 3 trays at a time.
Yeah.
Come and eat it.
Now McHenry for 3, and he answers right back.
Well, I thought King had to get going and needs to get going here for Middle Tennessee. He was able to knock down 3, but McHenry answers right back on the other side. He is a tough matchup right now. You got to get right up into him, force him off the line, but then he can explode by.
Elias King misses that time, tipped out of bounds. And it will be Western Kentucky basketball.
I just feel like this is a little bit of a danger zone here for Middle Tennessee. You don't want to get down double digits here in this second half. You want to stay single digits all possible. You got to get a stop.
Don McHenry on the drive gets fouled again. Well, tomorrow on ESPN, Kawhi and the Clippers play the 6th game of a 7-game road trip against Jimmy Butler and the Heat. We're trying to snap a 7-game losing skid. 2 teams going in separate directions. Coverage begins 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Johnson called for the foul. His first, and now Don McHenry just adding to that scoring total. 16 second half points already. You see why they wanted to bring him into this program.
Barely played 5 minutes here, second half, 16 points. Made it 17, and he has just completely taken over this ball game here in the second half. Outside shooting, but also attacking, putting pressure on the defense, getting into the lane.
And now a travel by Coleman Jones. First step, travel to the ball. Now Nick McDevitt telling him to get back down the floor. They need him defensively in the post. Howard back into the game, who did a lot of damage from there in the first half. Gallenbay, the alley, and Howard the oop, but the lay-in. 16 points now for Rodney Howard.
Doing a really good job feeding the big fellow around the basket. That time, a back screen gets him right into the post on the lob.
And now King for 3, too strong. McHenry again. This time he finally misses.
You're surprised when it doesn't go in now. Every time he releases, you think it's going to go in.
Porter misses a three. Tipped around. Moore on the floor again. He's got it. Possession arrow will send it the other way. Couple of times he's dove on the floor tonight.
Yeah, great energy. Just terrific play here. Back screen, wide open lob, good feed. Able to hit Howard on the inside, and Moore diving on the floor for a loose ball again, getting his team an extra possession. The crowd appreciates it. He gets a good hand as he comes out of the game. Or he's going to stay in the game. Thought they were subbing him out.
Tegan Moore, spin move, pass Lou.
How about that move? Mentioned he is really good at getting to the basket as a freshman. Just has a feel for getting to the rim, spinning back that time.
And now Porter goes right through the defense for the bucket.
They desperately needed that one.
The Western Kentucky offense has come alive in the second half.
Really good move. Moore, when he's going left, likes to spin back into that right hand. Great body control. You always get rewarded. Dive on the floor on one side. Seems like you get an easy one on the other end of the floor.
Does seem to work that way for sure. Western Kentucky is tied at halftime with this Middle Tennessee team, and now they've got a 13-point advantage, 21 points already in the second half. And now Allen travels. Western Kentucky, 6 of its last 8 from the field. Everything is clicking right now, except for the turnover there. Nine miscues against Western Kentucky in this one. Allen gets a seat for Steve Lutz. Johnson around Callenberg, no. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Middle Tennessee.
Good job by Loof that time. Set a couple of really hard screens. That opened up the play. Not able to finish at the rim, but good movement, good screens early in the possession. Freed up a few players, and McHenry gets a great hand as he goes out of the ball game here for a rest here before the media timeout.
Here's Loof missing an open three. Tyrone Marshall skied for the rebound, and now Edelin. To shoot for Western Kentucky. Marshall draws the foul. And it brings us to a timeout on the floor. Western Kentucky a 13-point lead, but coming up next, Western Kentucky recognized greatness at halftime. We'll tell you about it. Special moment at halftime here at Diddle Arena. Clem Haskins and the 65-66 and 66-67 Western Kentucky teams honored here. And Haskins and his late teammate Dwight Smith, the first black athletes in the South to integrate in college basketball at a time when America was in the midst of its civil rights movement. Now Haskins and Smith, they led Western Kentucky to back-to-back Ohio Valley Conference titles under John Oldham. He took over for E.A. Diddle, the Top's legendary coach for whom this arena is named. And Clem Haskins had a great career as a player for Western Kentucky. But then he played in the NBA and the ABA, later took over as the head coach here at Western Kentucky in 1980, led the program to a pair of NCAA tournament appearances as a coach, and finished his coaching career at Minnesota. Still beloved here in Western Kentucky, and there he is, Clem Haskins, the legend, who got a big ovation on the court here tonight.
Really cool when you see somebody get recognized in the past like that. Terrific teams, and when you think about a 3-time player of the year in the conference, you just don't see that anymore. Usually guys have a year like that, you jump to the NBA. So just really cool to see that success and be honored to come back here to a place he calls home. Really nice moment at halftime.
He doesn't live far, and he is definitely still connected to the program. Got to visit Coach Lutz. Now Tyrone Marshall knocks down a couple of free throws, but cool to see Western Kentucky royalty in the building tonight. 15-point lead for the Hilltoppers, who in the second half have run away with it in the first 8 minutes. And now a three from Jordan, and that's good. Jalen Jordan with 19 tonight.
Yeah, the hot hand in the first half. Trying to pick it up. Now you see Middle Tennessee go zone. Try to slow down this Western Kentucky offense a little bit.
Colombe. And now that's his first bucket of the game.
Good recognition that time from Western Kentucky as well. First time they see zone, they don't hesitate. They attack it, go right into the inside and get a bucket.
In the corner, King for three. That's off target. And Fay is fouled by Coleman Jones. Third on Coleman Jones.
Great footwork from Fay on the inside. Just uses a spin move. A little bit of a shot fake. Get Coleman Jones to leave his feet.
So Babacar Fay will go to the free throw line. 62% on the year at the stripe. The final four events of the Pro Bowl games are tomorrow afternoon, starting 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, capped off by a 7-on-7 flag football game. Peyton and Eli back to coach the AFC and NFC teams. Should be a lot of fun.
A dodgeball competition the other night, too, from the Pro Bowls. These guys are whipping the dodgeball around, bringing PE back.
Well, didn't Peyton Manning do that famous dodgeball clip? That was the bit. I want to see that again. But now in Pro Bowl setting. And now Coleman Jones, the miss. Then Eli Manning played that receiver character that showed up at Penn State, right? So I mean, these guys can get into character.
That's right. There's that 2-3 zone again. Western Kentucky did a good job attacking the inside last time against it. They do it again.
Fay goes up against Coleman Jones. He walled it off there. Off the miss. Here's Jordan. Thought about another three try, but more good defense on him.
And a great D. Completely shut off the drive.
But Porter knocks down the jumper from the elbow.
That time he got his feet under him. Hard move to his right. Will stop on the dime and pull up.
Nice pass down low, and Fay slams it home. Colombe set it up.
Really good job. Inside action. Get the weak spot of that 2-3 zone is going to be the middle of the lane. If you can get ball reversals, middle of the lane, then look opposite or down low to your teammate. Good finish.
Jordan had another good look there for three. Don McHenry set it up for Western Kentucky. Colombe. Yes. Justin Porter can't answer. Colombe the rebound.
Now the outside shots aren't falling for Middle Tennessee, and it's not falling. You got to attack the offensive boards. You got to find the way to try to score inside. Western Kentucky starting to pull away from this one.
Marshall into the lane. Foul before the shot. Blocking foul against Middle Tennessee. Jalen Jordan picking up his first personal.
Into the game for the home, number 6, number 11,
And you attack that zone on the inside. You want to try to get the ball into the middle, and then you want to look short corner or opposite. That's the weak spot of that 2-3 zone. They were able to do it that time.
Now an 18-point lead for Western Kentucky. And Newman never had a good handle on it. Couldn't get it to the rim. Buford being given space by McHenry. Porter slashing to the basket.
That's a great move. He is so quick getting into the lane that time. And he uses that body to shield off the defender. Need a few more stops here for Middle Tennessee. Chip into this lead.
It was just such a quick lead built by Western Kentucky. McHenry got hot early in the second half, and they just jumped way ahead.
Yeah, you got those quick points early in the half to extend the lead, and then Middle Tennessee went cold from the outside.
Out of bounds to Middle Tennessee when we return to Diddle Arena. 69-53, Western Kentucky trying to move to 10-1 at home. Don McHenry putting on a show in the second half for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, he's been absolutely terrific, and he's doing it from out on the perimeter. He's attacking into the lane. He's mixing it up. He's keeping the defense off balanced. Got into a rhythm here in the second half. 17 points in the second half alone, and that sparked a nice run from Western Kentucky, which was a tie ball game at the half.
17 second half points, 19 overall, so you can see how he has been the one to carry it, because the rest of his team has 14 points in the second half, but now it's a 16-point lead. Don McHenry again.
And you just can't lose him. And we just talked about the half that he's had with just over a second on the shot clock. You got to find the hottest guy on the floor.
It's almost like he heard us talking about how good he's been, and then on cue hits the three.
We appreciate him paying off the package with the shot from the corner.
Production credits to Don McHenry for this one.
And he just gets lost in the corner. He just finds that opening.
Coleman Jones got his man in the air and then laid it in.
Green's on McHenry now. Imagine he's not going to lose his side.
This time McHenry the miss. Trey Green, the sophomore from Baltimore. Nick McDevitt really likes the defense that he provides. And now Buford a three, no. Nice rebound underneath by Green. Kicks it out, another look for Buford, and he misses again.
Those shots aren't falling. You got to find another way to score the basketball. Those are good looks. It's wide open, especially off of an offensive rebound, kick out for three.
Fay is fouled by Coleman Jones. That'll be the fourth on Jared Coleman Jones. Middle Tennessee right now 0-5 in true road games this year, and in danger of falling to 2-5 in Conference USA action. Western Kentucky got off to a great start to the year, but at 3-4 in the league really needed this game and have a commanding second half lead.
It's a good response after you drop your first home game of the season just 2 days ago group that was locked in. Gave up 38 points in the first half, maybe a little higher than they would hope there, but they've locked in here defensively. Middle Tennessee's gone a little cold from the outside, so that's contributed to it. But really nice response from Western Kentucky here in the second half to open up this lead.
Western Kentucky started 11-3. It was their best 14-game start since the 01-02 season. But have struggled a bit of late, but tonight, this second half has been all Hilltoppers.
Turnover there, I think. Tell Green to shoot it. He hasn't seen it go through here tonight, but he's had a couple really good games, averaging just over 10 in the last 3. You get an open look. That's what he's in there to do, knock down outside jumpers.
Marshall flings it in. How about that through traffic?
Great body control. Will attack the rim.
Porter, pretty good look on a 3, but can't get it to go. Jack Edelin into the post. Howard, that time didn't really have a good handle on it and couldn't get to the rim. Now Coleman Jones, the miss. The rebound thrown out to Allen for Western Kentucky. The lob and the slam from Marshall.
A little highlight reel action. Crowd on their feet. Western Kentucky in the open floor. They're dangerous.
That was the exclamation point. What a lob and what a slam from Marshall.
A great find from Allen. Marshall able to pay it off. And this is where Western Kentucky is at their best. Getting out in the open floor, and they know how to finish it.
Coleman Jones off the inbound, misses the 3. How high did Green get there for the rebound and the putback? Wow, look at the hops from Trey Green to get that rebound and the putback, but still, even with the timeout for Nick McDevitt, his team talked things over, down by 20.
And here's the communication right here. And they got running open on the floor, coming down looking for that lob. And great job by Howard running into the middle of the lane. That draws in that defense, leaves the backside open. Nobody there. Great find, great finish. High flying Marshall.
Tyrone Marshall, 4th in Conference USA in blocks, 6th in steals. And certainly a great athlete. He played regularly last year, stayed with this program. And take a look at Western Kentucky's upcoming schedule. They'll get Louisiana Tech next on the road. Tech 6-1 in Conference USA, so that should be a pretty interesting game. Then you got to go to Jacksonville State, home for UTEP, New Mexico State. And then the return game where they'll go to Murfreesboro and take on Middle Tennessee. On the flip side for Middle Tennessee, Nick McDevitt's team will go to Liberty next, then FIU. They've got New Mexico State and UTEP as well before visiting Jacksonville State. Nick McDevitt, you know, when we had the chance to talk to him, Sean, you know that he believes in the talent on this team. The record may not show it. They had a couple of major injuries, as we mentioned earlier, but he really feels like there's good pieces for this group and that they have made big strides since early in the year.
Yeah, in the last 3 games, they've done a really good job scoring the basketball. And then the first half today, they have 38 points at the half. So again, it's a team that was struggling to score. They've really seen their scoring output improve over the last 3.5 games. They just missed a lot of open shots, but give Western Kentucky credit. Really not tighten up that defense here in the second half. has made it difficult for Middle Tennessee to get anything going.
Howard, no, got his own rebound. The putback won't fall. There's a three from Green splashing through.
I like to see him let that one go. He went in there, got that rebound the last possession, so still being aggressive here in this ball game.
Edelin's wide open. He'll take a three. That won't go. Edelin doesn't take a lot of shots, but they gave him a three. Western Kentucky up 17. Green missing the three. Another opportunity for Coleman Jones, but he's fouled right before he lost the handle on the ball. It'll bring us to a timeout on the floor.
Western Kentucky extending this lead and getting out on the break. One more time. Up top, great finish, Marshall.
Back here in EA Diddle Arena in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky with a 17-point lead on their rival from Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee. And the defense tonight for Western Kentucky has been great in the second half. As good as they've been offensively, they have really stifled the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, and that's opened up this lead here in the second half. It was the story of what was going to change. Middle Tennessee was hot from the outside in the first half. Western Kentucky was dominating in the paint. You see the flip here now. Middle Tennessee not able to get the threes made there in the second half. But Western Kentucky has continued to dominate offensively on the inside. And that's how they've been able to extend this lead, which was a tie ball game at the half. Now they're up 17.
Justin Porter slipped. No travel call. Now Green trying to drive, and he is fouled. It's 7 on the shot clock and 3:16 to go. Enoch Colombe picking up his second personal foul. Trey Green knocking down the free throw. A guy that could end up being a big-time player for Middle Tennessee down the stretch. One thing that Nick Victetta told us, Sean, was that he really believes in him as a shooter. He said, I know that the numbers don't show it right now, but he's working into this role as a sophomore, and he feels that 6-3 game that he had against New Mexico State could be the catalyst for him down the stretch.
Yeah, and feeling more confident from the outside. Mentioned over the last 3 games, he's averaging just over 10 points a game. So Middle Tennessee's looking for more guys to continue to step up. He's got the ability to do that, and Jalen Jordan's done a really nice job in this ball game, carrying some of the scoring load as well. So more guys that can get jumping on board here. See that scoring production go up.
Third foul against Justin Porter. Colombe will go to the free throw line. Middle Tennessee on a 7-0 run over the last 155. And here's our ESPN Big Monday doubleheader. We'll start it in the ACC, Miami and Virginia and Charlottesville, 7 Eastern. Then it's round 1 of the season Sunflower Showdown. Hunter Dickinson, number 8 Kansas, square off against Cam Carter and Kansas State. Both are also available on the ESPN app. That should be fun on Monday. Good one here in Conference USA tonight. Howard throws it ahead. Marshall again, the high flyer.
You hear it from the crowd. This team is explosive when they get out in the open floor, and they hit you quick.
He's lived above the rim tonight, is Tyrone Marshall. Howard fouled by Loof.
Tyrone Marshall's going to put a little highlight reel together after this ball game. Nobody back defensively. Takes flight, slams it home.
Tyrone Marshall, 12 points tonight. He's got 5 rebounds as well, 3 assists. I'd say 12 loud points tonight. Rodney Howard the miss on the first. Well, Tennessee and Kentucky, the last game of our blockbuster Saturday. And that one going on as we speak as well. This one about to wrap up. 54-47, Tennessee the lead on Kentucky right now as that's moving to the later stages. 2 minutes to go here.
This has been the steady force all night for Western Kentucky. Howard on the inside.
Now this time it's Colombe to clean it up. He's been good off the bench.
Yeah, and Colombe and Marshall can get you buckets without having to draw plays for them, and that's what makes it dangerous. They get out on the break, they get offensive rebounds. Very capable of being double-digit scorers, and you don't have to run offense for them.
Good for Jalen Jordan tonight, too. 22 points. A third of Middle Tennessee's scoring tonight from Jalen Jordan. And Nick McDevitt wants to talk things over with 1:24 remaining on the clock here. Western Kentucky looking to pick up their 4th win in Conference USA play and move to 10-1 here at Diddle Arena. And you said it earlier, Sean, you got to win your home games. Their first home loss came Thursday night, so it's been a big response. Yeah,
great response, and this is a balanced team. And again, they get to that 80-point mark, they feel really good that they're going to win the ball game. They're at 83 right now. I mentioned McHenry took over this ball game early in the second half, but Howard anchored it in the first half. And now you're seeing Marshall, you're seeing Colombe get involved on breakaway, fast break opportunities. So it's a balanced team. You can't just focus on McHenry, and that's dangerous. When you're a coaching staff getting ready to prepare against a team like this, it's option one is take away Don McHenry. But if you do that, they've got other weapons around them that can make you pay.
3 from the corner is good for Tyler Olden. They call him Fluff. Crowd loves it. He had a huge smile on his face coming back down the floor, too.
That was terrific. They ran a flare screen for him. They wanted to get him a bucket.
Oh, that's great. Look, he's got a big smile on his face.
Flare him to the corner. Bench loves it. Now I got to feed the hot hand. Give him another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
He ran a flare, run a curl for him now.
Under 30 seconds left in this one. 10 on the shot clock. Jalen Dorsey inside, and he scores. The bench loves it.
The crowd loving it. Hey, I think they're getting buckets in practice, and they're just showcasing it now.
Well, when these guys get their chance to shine, you love it. In a rivalry game, the fans here in Western Kentucky have plenty to rejoice about. 3 at the buzzer, no good. Western Kentucky 88 and Middle Tennessee 65.
Well, everybody getting into the act. It's the way you finish off a big-time effort from Western Kentucky. You drop your first home game of the season, able to respond in a big way. Rivalry game, 23-point win. Great second half for the Hilltoppers.
What a response from Western Kentucky tonight. After they lose by 2 on Thursday in this building against Sam Houston. And a 50-point second half from this Western Kentucky team. And when you get a response like that, crowd is going to be very happy, and they are tonight. We're seeing the fist bump line going right through, but a big performance from Western Kentucky, and now they're 10-1 here at home.
Yeah, great response after you drop your first home game, and it was a balanced attack. It was really impressive the way that they established the inside going through Howard early in the ball game, and he was terrific, dominated inside the lane. They had no answer for him. I mentioned McHenry had a couple fouls early in the ball game, so he had to play just limited minutes in the first half, but then he came out on fire in the second half, carried the team, and then you get the high flyers going. And you were able to see Marshall get out on the break, Columbi as well. Those guys are explosive, and this is a balanced team that can hit you 5, 6, 7 different guys can get double figures on any night.
You said it with Don McHenry too, 22 points, 20 in the second half. 5 of 6 he finishes from 3 tonight. Don McHenry, the catalyst for the big run and the star in this one for Western Kentucky. But, you know, now the Hilltoppers are 4-4 in conference, and with Don McHenry playing like this, they're dangerous.
Yeah, and he's a tough guard because you see you go under the screen, he knocks down the 3. You go over the screen, he'll give you a hesitation blow by. He can finish at the basket. He gets into the lane to set up his teammates, so he puts a lot of pressure on the defense, gets his teammates some easy looks. Just a terrific second half for McHenry here tonight.
So 88-65 the final score. Western Kentucky again now 10-1 here at home, 15-7 overall. Middle Tennessee falls to 8-14 and 2-5 in Conference USA play. And next up, this Western Kentucky team will play at Louisiana Tech. They're up top the Conference USA standings. That should be a very interesting one to watch. So for Sean Harrington and our crew, my name is Jordan Burnfield. Thanks so much for joining us here at Diddle Arena. Western Kentucky fans going home happy in Bowling Green. Big time win from the Tops tonight.